Good morning. Let's have a look at some of yesterday's footy. Let Italian Serie A alone. This was an interesting match, 1.1, but complete and utter dead rubber. It's the kind of scoreline you'd expect. One last hurrah from Salernitana before they exit Serie A. Eredivisie relegation were one-way traffic for NAC Breda and for Excelsior. No strong angles unless that red card occurred early enough. No, it was already done by half-time. Mr. Parrott doing a fine job there. Spanish La Liga, dead rubbers every single match. So this is typical. 0-0. Nothing to play for. Would you take that 0-0 on late on? I wouldn't. No, thank you. Absolutely nothing for any of these sides to play for. In the Allsvenskan, good stuff from Gaias and Djurgården picking up an excellent away win. 2.45 the favourite, though, suggests the market found these ones a little tough to read. Well, the FA Cup final, a gentle reminder to you why I don't like playing derby matches. Local derby and a big high-profile one-off final. The best angle into this, I think, in retrospect, would have been to back both teams to score no at the 0-2. You could have got odds as high as 6 for both teams to score no, and odds as high as 6 to cover the 1-2 as well. That, for me, would have been a good angle. Also, lay over 2.5 goals back. Manchester City +2. I went match odds, I'm afraid, and topped up at the 0-2, expecting that goal to come a lot earlier, but very solid United display. And a gentle reminder, this is why I keep mentioning derby-style matches. They can be very hard to trust. Well, Bayer Leverkusen survived by the skin of their teeth, red-carded in the first half, so you're not going to be getting the equivalent of a 1.17 scoreline there. But job done for Bayer Leverkusen. Continue their end to their excellent season. Only one defeat all season. Arguably, we could have laid the late draw here in the Fredrikstad-Tromsø match because you did get a reaction from Tromsø to the red card. From a stats perspective, second half, you can see one-way traffic. Keep your liability low because Fredrikstad are the form side out of these two. And oftentimes, these form sides can survive a red card. Last day of the season in the Ekstraklasse, and I thought I solved this puzzle very well indeed. This was the only major focus, Korona Kielce. They were a goal down to Lech Poznan and take 3 points away from that, hovering in the relegation zone. Korona Kielce. Q, a 1-0, Q the red card, and at 1-1, that's when I got involved, laying the draw. Korona Kielce stepped up, took advantage of the red card, and this was the goal which has saved their seasons from Szyk Avka, the mighty Szyk Avka, scoring a brace yesterday. That was the only match to target. That's what we do in the last day of the season. We target matches with need. And that was just a very useful red card from Lech Poznan to open up the chance for Korona Kielce to get a result. Celtic and Rangers, normally it's over 2.5 goal affair with this one, but it went the way of recent head-to-heads. Celtic, very, very late winner. Rangers did have a goal disallowed at some point. It's around here. Here it is. Now, I would have played this one. I would have laid over 1.5 goals, and I would have had faith in Celtic, at least not losing 0-2. But Ida, 90th minute winner for Celtic, keeping up the good head-to-head record, which is solidly with them. On to today, and I think this is the penultimate day in Italy. Or is it the last day of the season? Looks to be the last day of the season. So watch out. Anything with an arrow is job done. So we've got Empoli, Udinese, and arguably, all the way up to Cagliari, because they're on identical goal difference. Cagliari and Empoli. Empoli win and Cagliari lose. Chance that Empoli will stay up. Udinese. Well, Cagliari themselves just need a draw today, don't they? Get them out of jail. Frosinone win guarantees them safety, as does an Udinese win. But it's all dependent on what Empoli do. Udinese Frosinone must just improve on what Empoli do. Torino doesn't look like they can breach that top 8 spot for Fiorentina. But that said, there's no arrows here yet. That's probably because Fiorentina can move up to that Europa League spot with a comfortable enough win. They've got the goal difference. Just need to win and hope that Lazio lose. A draw for Lazio guarantees them Europa League football. Let's just make sure we know how many matches are left in Italy. Don't want to do all this working out and then find there's 2 matches left. So just have a quick peek. A couple of matches left for Atalanta and for Fiorentina, I believe. So those are unique because they've been involved in European football. So it's the last day of the season for all of the others. But a couple of matches left for Atalanta and a couple of matches left for Fiorentina as well. So looking at the standings, it's all about the relegation dogfight, isn't it? We've got Empoli here playing Roma, Frosinone. Was it Lecce as well? Let's remind ourselves. No, Lecce are safe. So Cagliari, Frosinone and Empoli. So it's not finishing on the same time, isn't it? The end of the season in Italy and Spain, indeed. It's split up. Utrecht and Go Ahead Eagles. 1.7 the favourite. Europa Conference League playoffs. Is this a second leg or a first leg? Not sure. Conference League playoffs. We will tell. Go Ahead Eagles 2-1 on the 14th of April. So this looks like a second leg. Or is it? I'm not too sure. Spain, La Liga, as I've reminded you, absolutely nothing for any side to play for anymore. So be very careful with these. All done and dusted. I suppose, realistically, Betis can't break into that Europa League place unless they score 9 goals, or Real Sociedad lose by plenty as well. And at the bottom, it's a bottom 3, all okay. La Liga 2, this looks like it's the last day of the season. They're all kicking off at the same time. And again, at soccerway.com, you can just check that out. Make sure it is the last day of the season in the Spanish second tier. So we'll go all the way down here. Just pick one of these matches out and just check. So this could be the penultimate day of the season in the Segunda. That's still important for us because the penultimate day of the season, these teams will want to position themselves for safety or to have a tilt at a European place for the last day of the season. So vitally important for some to pick up points. But again, if you go with the standings here, business is not concluded, is it? Even as far as the title is concerned. So plenty for Leganes, Valladolid, Eibar, Espanyol, Racing Santander, Real Oviedo, Gijón, Elche, 58 plus 3 is 61, Ferrol, plenty to play for. Don't forget, 2 matches remaining. So these sides on 57 will be keen to pick up a win today to position themselves on 60 points in case Oviedo lose and they can have a tilt at a promotion playoff place. In the relegation zone, well, business not concluded, is it? With a potential 6 points up for grabs, it's all the way up to Huesca, at least for Villarreal B. But from Amorebieta's perspective, 47 all the way up to 50. They can potentially grab sides all the way up as far as Albacete. That means a win for Albacete today, they're guaranteed safety. Win for Zaragoza today could guarantee them safety with a positive goal difference, -15 to -2. So a win for El Denzi as well would be important. That's what I'm saying about penultimate matches of the season. Plenty for some of these to play for today. So I'll be watching that with interest. All uniform 5:30 kickoffs. Hammarby and Sirius and Västerås and Bromma, and not a strong set of fixtures today. And the Superettan I don't like early season. I'll keep an eye on the in-play stats, but it's not very reliable, I'm afraid. Had a number of strong candidates last week just not performing. Turkish Super League, 5 o'clock kickoffs there. Well, lots of odds on favourites in Croatian HNO1 League, but it's a league coming to its end. I think Dinamo Zagreb have already got the title, so you've got to be very careful. 107 for a side who don't need to win. Well, 3 out of 3 odds on favourites at home as well in the Czech Fortuna League. Baník Ostrava, Slavia Prague and Sparta Prague. Let's have a look at the league positions at this stage of the season. This is the championship group now. Okay, so that means that the league is split up. And of course, we've got the championship playoff final, Leeds against Southampton. Leeds, for me, have caught the eye this season more so than Saints, who have had the odd hiccup. We can have a look at their seasonal form, but this is like the Man United-Man City match. It's a one-off affair, this. Anything can happen. It's going to be extremely difficult to unpack or to find a trading angle. In-play stats will be key. Having a look at Leeds all season, where have they been vulnerable? The challenge table might give you a clue. Well, Southampton have done the double over them this season, so that's fascinating. So they'll have the confidence, Saints, even though this season they've not been the most reliable side. You can tell by the challenge table here. They've lost to the top two, but beat Leeds and West Brom. So interesting. They've been more vulnerable away from home, but of course both teams are away from home today. Fascinating match, not necessarily a strong tradable match. If this is anything like the English Championship playoff semi-finals, then you'd be looking to back 0-0 pre-match there. Finnish Veikkausliiga, KUPS playing newly promoted Ekenas should be as obvious as the market suggests. And newly promoted Guinnesstan do have goals in them. So that's going to be an interesting encounter with Maria Hamna. But it's KUPS which stand out for me there today. Elsewhere, we're just having a quick look through. Not much else catches the eye as we move down. Norwegian Eliteserien. Got our usuals. I think Bodo Glimt not playing today. I thought they were. Mulder have been particularly poor form. I've done the research for you. Viking look deserving of their odds-on status at home. Sarpsborg, better be careful. Stroms do have a couple of goals in them. Sarpsborg coming off the back of a 7-goal Tonking last match. So watch out. They're going to be more defensively minded this match. Kristiansund have been conceding and scoring 2 goals of late. I think Rosenborg's odds are a little bit too short for me. Indeed, they're starting to rise there. So interesting set of fixtures. And again, a little early in the season, there's some matches which really do lack those form lines, which is a pity. Sporting Lisbon today in the Cup had an excellent season. Ross County against Wraith. I think Wraith won the first leg, 2-1. Oh no, Ross County came back in the first leg. So that's as per expectation. The side from the Premier League doing the business. So if they get a goal today, it's going to be a hard task for Wraith to get anything out of that. That really is about it today. I'll be on hand on Telegram throughout the day. No live stream at this stage. Don't forget, tennis today as well. I'm going to do a separate tennis video for you, just to give you an introduction to tennis. So watch out for that at youtube.com/@footballtradingprofit. So if you like and subscribe and click the bells for notification bell, then you'll be alerted whenever a video drops this week. Okay. French Open begins today, 10 a.m. I'll be around to see if we can pick off some of these. 1.04 basic rules for me. First round, seeded v unseeded. So you go to, well, no, why don't I do this in a separate video? Because otherwise this one will go on forever. So in my next video, I'll just give you an introduction to how I play Grand Slam tennis first rounds. obvious gaps in form, obvious gaps in rankings should produce obvious results. But this is a Grand Slam, so Mayo will be well up for this himself. Watch out for Frenchmen like Mayo, Moutet, overperforming. Atmane, Muller, overperforming on the home stage. Richard Gasquet going to give a good account, I would suggest, against Borna Coric, who's not been putting up too much form. So fascinating matches. I'll come to that in a separate video. See you throughout the day on Telegram.